Hey, this is Sam with Ridester.com. Who do you pick, Uber or Lyft? This is a question that everybody asks. Should I pick one or the other? Which one is better? And so this is a video that kind of unpacks where we go further in depth in the link below on Lyft versus Uber. And what we do is we actually go by all these different categories down to price or customer service and so forth, brand, and we deem who we believe is the winner between Uber and Lyft in each category. So let me give you my personal opinion. Who's better? It just depends. And so what I want to do, instead of trying to get you to love one or the other, know the differences, and then also utilize them for your own benefit, because they're in competition. So for us as the riders, we have the power to make informed decisions and make them work for us. Gratefully, there's not a monopoly, and so they actually are constantly vying for the market and matching each other's promotions and fighting for supremacy. And so the reality is that Uber and Lyft are almost identical in almost every way. There are some differences, but anything that I say will be dated most likely because it's constantly changing. So check the blog for the most updated differences and innovations. But in the beginning, Uber was a black car service, so mainly for like limo drivers, and they're the ones that innovated this whole idea of having an app and hailing. Now, what Lyft did is they took the average driver in the car and made it accessible and used that same kind of technology and that concept. And then eventually Uber saw the money-making opportunity and saw that they weren't actually making much money doing the Uber Black, and out of necessity switched over. Now, both of them since then have expanded, and they've created all these different kind of categories. Lyft Lux, you got things like Uber Pool, you got Lyft Line, you got Uber XL, you have Lyft Plus. Everything that one has, the other has. So that's something important to know. But here's the thing. In most cities, you're gonna see exact same prices. And so for Lyft, they recently copied in Minneapolis Uber's pricing, and they matched them. And so they have the same price point. But where the prices will differ is supply and demand. And you've probably heard this term, surge or prime time is what Lyft calls it. Depending on the time and the driver availability may dictate a significant difference on your price that you pay. So I highly recommend have both apps, open them up. And there's often apps that you can use, like Farewell app. It's a free app that's available, and it will price check both of them and tell you who's closer and how much it will cost. Use both for your advantage. Now, a couple of differences that I would highlight, but again, remember, this can be dated. Lyft overall has a better customer service situation. Now, you may hear this and say, well, Sam, I had a terrible example. Well, sure. I'm giving a generalization. Lyft is usually better because usually they have people from the US who are native English speakers who care. And oftentimes with Uber, I've been frustrated. But at the same time, one time I was riding with Uber, and it was like a snowstorm, and this guy was driving me, and he was deaf. He was fantastic. I really liked him. But halfway into the ride, he started video chatting and signing with a friend in the middle of the ride. And so I did not feel safe. The floors were icy. I told Uber through the app, customer service, and I said, hey, I didn't feel comfortable. I think he's great. Can you just remind him not to do that? And they gave me a ride credit back immediately within minutes. And so that's an example of them going above and beyond to take care of me. And so I'd say both of them have great customer service, but it just depends on your situation. But there's one area that Uber has come under fire a lot, that something that's worth noting is that Uber will often charge a certain amount based on the initial projection. And then if the driver gets there quicker or takes a more efficient route, will still charge you the original amount. And this has caused a lot of controversy. So let's say you need to go to the airport and there's all this traffic, but let's say you get quoted, let's say $20. Let's say your driver actually finds more efficient routes. Maybe he uses Waze, and maybe some traffic opens up, maybe the traffic starts opening up, and you get there a lot quicker, and you use less miles. And so really, it should be $19. What happens? Well, historically, and this has been proven over and over again, Uber will still charge you $20, quote to the driver $19, and then pocket the difference. So Is that shady? It is. It is shady. But it's not crazy shady because you did agree to pay that, but they're skimping on the drivers and the drivers have to pay the difference. So it doesn't encourage drivers for being more efficient. So that's one difference. But overall, check out the blog for more of the details, but use both. There are, some people have preferences because of some political backgrounds and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're just a neutral consumer who wants the best efficient service, use both and be choosy for your own benefits.